Let's go. The name is Law Nation. As we continue to grind, to shine, be sure to hit the like button, share this content. Let a friend or a neighbor know where to go. When they want to tune in to Cowboys, sports talk, and beyond. They really say, ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about a Law Nation Groove Rivalry week? Cowboys versus the 49ers.
Here we go. Here we go.
No doubt. They got also in the news, Randy, he's cut. Yup. They say ain't no party like a cowboy party. Come on.
Hey, we can't go to mission and capture or kill.
Let me crack your brain and fertilize your brain.
Yeah. Come on. Sunday night football. I see you, Jenny. Come on. Al Corey. Let's go. I see y'all. 5, 4, 3, 2. Mic check, mic check. Mic check 1. Let's get it. Yeah. Come on. All right. Appreciate y'all. I thank each and every last one of you all for tuning in and being part of these type of episodes. Here's what we got here. The Dallas Cowboys matchup versus the 49ers. And I would tell you guys that, you know, when you look back at everything, they are doubting us, right? They are saying that, you know, the 49ers got the physicality. The 49ers are the ones that we will have to make sure that we are already on. And granted, they are undefeated, right? And there is some issues there with their team, just like is some issues with ours. There's not a team that can go in through this season without a blemish, right? So I think that, you know, now what we're going to do is add concept, principles, and things to that room, and we're going to attack the 49ers with a certain plan. The last 2 times when we faced the 49ers, there were no element of how to attack. I recall the 2021 time when we played in the playoff there, at home, by the way. They thought that bringing physicality would be, hey, let's practice with pads, right? Let's hit these players after the whistle and things like that. And my thing would be here, ladies and gentlemen, is don't get mixed up. You stay with your brand and you stay with your flow. But the Cowboys were in the minds of, hey, we got to match physicality that way, and it didn't work. The Cowboys end up having 14 penalties in that game. The Cowboys end up stalling out some plays, and it got down to the last minutes or the last seconds of the game there, and they had a botch little deal with the referees and Dak Prescott running a what they call it, a quarterback sneak from the 45-yard line. That was crazy. So I think that the Cowboys, the following year, they went through the draft. They made sure they got the right mindset, the right type of people. They went and got some dogs, more and more dogs out there, and they did it with the youth. They didn't necessarily do it with the capitalizations of going out there in free agency. We didn't do a lot of movement in free agency last year. I'm just telling you guys the storyline so that we can understand the full picture, not the piece of the picture. And the full picture was, you know, we last year, who we went and got? James Washington, right? We went and got a T.Y. Hilton on the latter end of it. And did we get anybody on defense last year? Y'all help me out. Help me out. Who was new on the defensive side outside of our draft picks? Wasn't really a lot of people knew, and we went back with the same philosophy. So I would say this, ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboys versus the 49ers will be must-see TV on Sunday night. I think that, Hankins, yeah. Anthony Barr and Hankins, appreciate you, those that's in the chat. And I think that it was Hankins who was injured, right? And that was his first game back against the 49ers. And Fowler, I don't think he had a lot of snaps. And Anthony Barr, we looked at Anthony Barr like, good. LVE is looking way better than Anthony Barr, as the season progressed. And I think Anthony Barr fell off the map. He went from a great player to a good player to, hey, man, who's Anthony Barr, man? Let us have Damone Clark out there instead, right? So did we wet the bed last year versus the 49ers? One can argue and say, yeah. And one can point fingers to the quarterback, right? That's what a lot of people will say. Hey, it's the quarterback. Yeah. When you have 2 turnovers, one on your side of the field, right? You sacking in 2. You have a turnover there, a crucial turnover. That's a swing of what, 3 points, because I think that after every turnover, they at least scored 3 points. So there's a swing of 6 points from there. And when we had the other turnover, when Dak Prescott tried to throw the ball to my guy Michael Gallup, terrible, right? They were able to get great field positions, and both times our defense able to hold those boards to field goals opposed to having them scoring touchdowns, right? So I would say this. Looking back at everything, our scheme, our philosophy, it was very faint. We didn't have one. Our concepts, we didn't have one on offense. Now, granted, as great as the 49ers defense last season, I believe they finished out number 1, number 2, respectfully. We were able to still keep it within arm's reach, right? It's not like the 49ers went in and put 30 points on us. It's not like they put 40 points on us. It's not like they even beat us down with 25-0 type of stuff. We were still within arm reach, even with the host of weapons that we had, so or was out there on the field. Somebody argued this and said, shoot, even if the Cowboys were to have Tony Pollard last year, things would have been even a little bit closer, But sometimes, and there were a campaign of those who are out there that was saying basically, hey, Law, we get you, we feel you, what you saying about Ezekiel Elliott, but, man, he ain't him, man. He ain't that dude to have the explosive plays. And lo and behold, if you look back at this season, yes, Zeke is having an all right year, but he ain't an explosive guy like Tony Pollard, right? So explosiveness is everything. And, yes, no more 4 curl routes brought to you by Kellen Moore. No more of that, right? So we will see this weekend how everything will look for us out there as it relates to the Cowboys versus the 49ers. And we'll talk about Randy Gregory. I know y'all see him on the title there and as well as the thumbnail. But what I want to do here is, I appreciate y'all, man. What I want to do here is let's go over some of these things that the network's been talking about. And let me know if the audio's straight. Let me know if the visual's straight. And let me know if you guys can hear this, too, by the way. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Dallas's defense B. Listen, the matchup of the week, the matchup of the season so far are these two teams. Can they match the physicality of the San Francisco 49ers? We understand McCaffrey's going to get almost 40% of the touches, whether it's in the run game or in the screen game, passing game, whatever you want to look at it. However, the Cardinals, they ran up and down the field of over 150 yards in the first half. We saw how that game turned out. Listen, they're not even close to being where that San Francisco offense is, so looking forward to that game. Feels like the game of the...
All right, so that was the lead off from Get Up this morning. You recall they said, okay, you seen what the Cardinals was able to do. You seen the physicality that the 49ers are able to do. Here's my thoughts on this, ladies and gentlemen. And I would say this once again. I truly believe that the running quarterback got us confused in that game. We didn't play disciplined football versus the Cards. They caught us really in an emotional state. Don't you know how difficult it will be for that environment to be recreated, right? Don't y'all know how difficult that will be on how all of that will be recreated of this right here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the globe, of 13 penalties, right? 4 out of the 5 of the offensive linemen that played the previous week didn't play the first time. That will be so difficult to recreate. And on top of that, the emotions, the feelings of, and in my words of my guy, the playmaker, the feelings of losing Trayvon Diggs, that one can argue that he was the defensive leader in the secondary. To lose out on him and to figure out how you're going to play as it relates to man, loose man, are you still going to have your cover 3 principles? The involvement of the other guys in the secondary. That is not going to happen every week, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the Cardinals caught us. They beat us fair and square. I'm not finna say that the aficionados won that game for them. But for to have that exact same recipe will be very hard to do. It'll be very hard to replicate. Yes, indeed. Here you go. Law, I disagree with you. Don't Kyler Moore runs? I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to imply. Because Kyler Murray, he was the same guy that ran on us in the way we played against the Cards. Running quarterbacks tend to have good games from us or good games with us or what have you. Outside of Daniel Jones, right? And Daniel Jones, he's 1 for 12 in primetime games, by the way. But running quarterbacks tend to. And on top of that, here's another thing as well. I really think that Dan Quinn, he looked at this, the team looked at this, and they saying, hey, we want to showcase a great performance. Yeah, sure, dog. Everything will be natural. With me and Twin, we're gonna do shows together. It's still, y'all got to keep in mind it's Wednesday, right? We got. Don't rush the process, baby. Y'all know we still got Thursday night. I got to talk to him for about 3 hours tomorrow night, and then we doing a show Friday morning with him and another 49er content creator, and me and Ashley. We going live tonight, and then we got another show tomorrow morning with other 49ers content creators. It's still early, y'all. Y'all gonna get the 49ers conversation. Yeah. We gonna get the conversation going. Yes, indeed. But y'all know me. I like to get this content out for myself too. You know what I'm saying? So we can get these things going.
So far. And Jerry Jones playing some of his usual word games on the radio yesterday. Here's what he said ahead of this matchup with the Niners on Sunday night.
They are right now probably the most likely team to go in the Super Bowl. But in order for them to get there, they've got to go by us, hopefully 2 times, if that's the way it falls in the playoffs. And we're in the playoffs, of course. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is that you're playing the best. There's no reason physically, no reason scheme-wise that we shouldn't go out there and play well enough to win a football game.
He said no reason scheme-wise. And some people took those words and twisted. Appreciate y'all, man, for the support. Some people took those words and twisted and said, oh, Jerry Jones is putting a knock on the Eagles, right? Oh, he's overlooking the Eagles, like the Eagles not 4-0. Like, we got our natural eyes over here. And I don't think that there's one Eagles game that they look as dominant as the 49ers did in their first 4 previous games. Now, if you can't find me that game and show me that game, then I'll sit back and I'll say, okay, yes, the Eagles look just as dominant as the 49ers. Now, granted, I get it. The Eagles do have the ability to say, hey, they made it to the Super Bowl last year. They played one of the better teams last year and ultimately lost in that game, but at least they made it to the Super Bowl. And I get all of that. And I know that the Eagles, they are trying to make it about them. Let me say this again. They are trying to make it about them. And they're going to fool around and talk so much about us, and the Rams going to go over there and hand them that L. I think they play the Rams this week. Look, none of their content creators talking about who they got to play. So there goes to show you that the Cowboys are the cream of the crop. The Cowboys are on top. The Cowboys are who everybody wants to take a real good piece at. And the 49ers are too. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, everybody just watching, if it was a great divide between which team is considered the darlings, it will be the 49ers. There would never be the amount of hate that they should get for being on a 28 or 29-year drought opposed to what we're getting. Granted, you could say, well, they made it to the Super Bowl. They've been to multiple championship games, right, Law? You know, you can't say that. But at the end of the day, it's still a drought. It's still a drought. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. And let me see if I can pull this up because let me see. Go to PFF. We're going to go to PFF. I know they got the little thing right there. We go to Eagles, and we're going to pull them up, and we're going to go to the 49ers and pull them up. And 7th overall. Tied for 11th in defense. Tied for 6th in offense. 12th in special teams. We go to PFF, and we're going to pull up 49ers. And this is just a shortcut way of just looking at who's of the worlds. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I see number firsts and twos in there. You know what I'm saying? So, Jerry Jones is right. Jerry Jones is right at this point. That's the number 2 offense in the National Football League. That's the number 1 defense right now in the National Football League. So, he have every right to say, yeah, you know, we got to gear up to play the Niners. We gotta make sure we take care of business. Now here's where we are at right here, ladies and gentlemen. And they are beatable too, if we look at who they played and who we played and all of that. But I'm not finna go back and forth with that because that don't mean a hill of beans. It don't. I don't try to fall into that. Who you play? Because at the end of the day, I got Uncle Charlie over here. He will let you know what type of situation it could be.
Sacrifice. Don't give up the fight. Everything will be all right on any given Sunday, yeah.
It's any given Sunday, man. So you got to contextualize that. And if anything, people going to gear up to play on prime time, baby. And on top of that, people are going to gear up to play the boys. Here's what's going to happen with us. If we lose to the Niners, oh, man, the sky is falling. The Cowboys, this is who they are. It will be Stephen A. Smith talking, Shay Sharp. You know Jordan Taylor is going to climb up out of her hot chair and start talking. You know, and, hey, LaShay McCoy going to talk. Everybody going to talk if we lose, right? Everybody going to talk. And here's what's going to happen when we win. Oh, man, see, the Cowboys acting like they won the Super Bowl. Oh, man, the Cowboys, see, they having a parade. Oh, man, that's just a regular season. It's a lose-lose for us even when we win. And it'll be a third of the fickle fans out here saying, oh, man, even when we win. Oh, man, see, Dak Prescott, man, this team would be better if we didn't have him. Put Cooper rushing. Although we won, look at the red zone situation. And even if we lose, oh, man, I can't stand Dak Prescott. So it's regardless, they make it about the quarterback. I don't give a dog who's the quarterback. I just want us to win, baby. But that's how our fan base is. Any other fan base will be just glad that they got the win. But we are the only fan base that care about what the quarterback do. We are literally, let me say this again, we are the only fan base. The only fan base. The only fan base. Nobody is talking about the 1-3. Who's that team? Burrows and them. Nobody's talking about how they having a horrible start right now to the season. It is what it is. So it's not just us versus the 4-letter, the 3-letter network, or us versus the team, or us versus the aficionados. It's us versus us. And the first thing they gonna do is say, hey, Law, it's been 27 years, Law. It's been 27 years, Law. It's been 28 years, Law. Hey, this is who we are. And I recall the whole Eagles fan base up until the point of 2017. Now one of those people saying, hey, man, it's been 50 years, man. They had the same energy. Put it like this. They had the same energy as a fan base before 2017. They just geared it up and rev it up after 2017. You couldn't hush an Eagle fan. They had the same energy. And they've been on a 50-year drought, more than 50
Charles,
years.
$10. Law almost 300 in here and less than 100 likes. What is wrong with these people? When in the hell are you all going to come in here and just hit that damn thumb? Shame on you.
Shame on them. Appreciate you, Sadiq. I thank you so much. There's only a few. There's some real ones, man, that follow me and support me. There's only a few. That's okay.
Shame.
I see my fingerprints everywhere when I turn on the YouTubes. I see my fingerprints. So they don't watch me while I'm live. They come back and watch it after this done. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, though. I appreciate the real ones here right now. You know what I'm saying? I thank y'all. But I'm just playing. I know we get a lot of rewatches. And at this time, there's no precise time of action when I do go live. This is how it goes. So I appreciate all of you guys that's watching Notification SWAT. And there are some things that's working behind the scenes that's going to benefit us all, because that's just how I rock. I'm trying to let y'all know that. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm not live early in the morning, I'm working. There's literally, with the nation, there's literally
No days off.
no days off. No days off. So this is only the surface level that most people see.
So no one knows how to sell a matchup better than Jerry Jones does. It's the game of the year. Right? This to this point is the game of the year. My beloved former Cowboy with the look of anticipation on his face. What is at stake for Jerry Jones and Dallas on Sunday night?
First time hearing that sound. I haven't heard Jerry say something like that made all the sense in the world.
I was going to say, that was the smartest thing I've ever heard Jerry say. Yeah.
What's at stake for him is really about their psyche and their mindset going throughout the rest of this season. This is the hump, man. Like, we all know what has transpired in the playoffs, but even in the regular season, when you think about all of the questions that surround Dallas when they lose to San Francisco, think about it, y'all. We talk about Dallas ad nauseum, right? Rightfully so. This is America's team. We talk about this team a lot. But all of the conversation shifts after they play the San Francisco 49ers or after they have a bad performance. But this is the team that is the giant standing in their face. And I don't know, right? Jeff, you know this, Neat, Foxy, as players, it's always somebody out there that you got to get over in order to, in your mind, say, okay, now we can start going on a roll with the idea that we could really get this whole thing done. I think this is a must-win for Dallas from that standpoint.
I think he's speaking from the mindset of a psyche, right? I'm telling y'all, man, there was people that was really taking days off, had face longer than Jay Leno chin, and they were sitting there saying, hey, man, you know, we lost to the Cards, man. We lost to the Cards, man. We ain't doing Z. See, that's the problem. The Cowboys, X, Y, and Z. And nobody, because see, there's only a few that's going to be willing to say, hey, I get it. We lost. But you got to contextualize, hey, we still won. There were still some positives in that game versus the Cards. Still some positives. Bland, hey, he only allowed 2 receptions for 25 yards. Oh, man, he sucked too low. I'm like, nah, man, give a young kid some chances and opportunity. And then there were still people, hey, man, look at the red zone situation. What you think is going to happen? when you're missing 4 out of the 5 guys, and Tyler Smith was his first game back. And there were people that would stand on the hill and say, no, that offensive line was doing their job. No, they're doing their job. Where? There's some plays that they had to cut back from. The coach even said, hey, I had to cut the playbook in half. We were not allowed to do 7-step drops. We were not, hey, why the ball ain't going deep? Well, you try to do 7-step drops, and all of a sudden, the Chuma Edoga getting folded up like a lawn chair, who we never seen play at left tackle. Until that day. So I know that people who was going to sit back and say, well, those sound like excuses, Law, when they are just the facts. Just facts. I'm 5'2", I can't dunk. Why Shaq get a chance to dunk? The fact of the matter is you 5'2". Ain't no hating at you. You just ain't tall enough, right? Shout out to all of the 5'2" people. You know what I'm saying?
Not playoff implications, none of that. A must-win for the psychological part of it, coming off of a win, a dominant performance against the Patriots.
That's fascinating to me because at the beginning of the season, you said to me, doesn't matter what Dak does in the regular season, it's all about the playoffs. But this game feels...
So Reginald says, Law, you got to face reality. Stop making excuses. I'm a fan, but I am a realist. So realistically, you would say with that squad that we had versus the Cardinals, that's the squad that you can win unlimited games. Huh? Realistically, right? So when you say that you're a realist, right? So with that squad, that's the Super Bowl caliber squad, right? No, it takes time. There's no undefeated team. So, Reginald, ask me, what do you do for a living? Realistically, when you say stop making excuses, so at that point, if Elon Musk is able to make billions of dollars, how come you are not making billions of dollars, right, in your field or whatever you may do? How come you is not making, how come you not I don't know, if you might be a multimillionaire, but what is your excuse that you are not a multimillionaire? What is your excuse? Because every one of us is granted 24 hours a day. So why aren't you making billions of dollars, right? What's your excuse? What is your angle? You know what I'm saying? So when people say, hey, stop making excuses, well, as a realist, what is your excuse? I need to know, Reginald, so that whenever you call in, I need to know from a realist, why aren't you? Are you going to say it's because I wasn't born from a wealthy family? Or are you going to say it's because I didn't go to a certain school or wasn't placed in a certain area? See, when people say, hey, no excuses, then what people are trying to say in the Cowboys 28 years, that there should be no excuses for Shane Gailey to win a Super Bowl. There should be no excuses for Dave Campo to win the Super Bowl. There should have been no excuses for. You see those names? Those names don't register. So when people say, hey, man, with Jason Garrett, there should have been no excuses. But people don't contextualize the context. For 13 seasons we had Jason Garrett. He can't even find a job to coach a high school team right about now. So when people say, hey, man, there's no excuses, Law. We should have won the Super Bowl with Jason Garrett. We should have won the Super Bowl with Mike McCarthy in 2020. No excuses. When they got rid of Jason Garrett, we should have went straight to the Super Bowl. When you add in the context, you say, oh, okay. All right. So when people say even in 2021, it's quite strange to me. With Dak Prescott, he had the same exact injury, that Joe Burrows is having right now. It's really every excuse in the book for Joe Burrow. He got Jamar Chase. He got T. Higgins, I believe. He still got a running back. Even Jamar Chase is already speaking out, hey, man, I'm open. But they are not going to expound on that because it's already, hey, he got the cap. So he's qualified because his team made it to the Super Bowl in 2021, I believe, to have a bad stinker, right? But our quarterback with the same injury, hey, there's no excuses for him. There's no excuses for his leg. There's no excuses for that calf injury. He still should be able to make the plays. I'm trying to figure this out. So on one end, is no excuses for and it's crazy because it goes all the way back to even the Eagles. Every single game when they won, hey man, no excuses, man. We figured things out. Hey man, we worked through it, man. Hey, we bind together. They get to the Super Bowl. Hey, they have a better defense than the Kansas City Chiefs according to the stats and metrics, right? Hey, man, they lose, and all of a sudden, hey, man, hey, the field was wet. You know what I'm saying? Now, hey, those are excuses. Okay, I get it. Okay. All right.
Different, right? This
is
feels
one
like
of
a
those
legitimate
moments.
test.
This is one of those moments.
And so when styles make fights, sometimes amongst the better teams, one just has the other's number. And Jeff, obviously, you were on all those great Indianapolis Colts teams all through that period of time there, and you had that.
Yeah, listen, it's interesting. People talk about the Patriots and the Ravens, and we had some great battles with those, but we kind of went back and forth. You know who had our number? The Chargers. San Diego Chargers, for whatever reason, they had our number. And whether it's a regular season of playoffs, they knocked us out in 07 and 08 out of the playoffs. I think one time they were a 9-game win team. We were like 12 or 13, and we'd go out to San Diego and they end up beating us. But to your point, just the matchups, for whatever reason, they could rush the passer really well. They had a great back end. Cromartie would have picks all the time. I mean, it was that thing. And like you said, you go out there, and for whatever, it's not that you think they're a better team, but for whatever reason, they just matched up well against us. Physically, they would beat us. But at the end of the game, it was always close. They found a way to make the plays that we didn't.
So what is it? What is it about the 49ers that gives them that edge over the Cowboys?
Yeah, I don't think that there's anything specific on the field. I think the 49ers are a very good team. 49ers are hard to play for everybody.
Right.
It's just so happened that the Cowboys have come up on the wrong side a number of times, and that's where the psychological impact comes on it. They're not so much better than the Cowboys or so much better coached or so many better players that they can't beat them. It just so happens that they've come up to them in big games and lost. And that's why this game is really important. That's why this game is bigger than just home field advantage or just regular season. It's also about saying, there's no magic to this. There's nothing special about them. They can bleed too.
But here, think about it. The Cowboys spanked the Patriots, and what was one of the first questions Dak was asked? So, when you play these guys, take us back. Take us back to how disappointed you were, how frustrated you were. And Dak's looking at him like, did you not just see what I did out there?
Yeah.
That's because this game is so much bigger than
the whole situation. This is the first time in NFL history you beat a team 38-3, and you consider still, hey man, anybody could did that. Anybody could have done that. Those are things that what can you do for me in the playoffs though, right? We are the only fan base that do that, right? We beat the Jets. I don't think there's a team in 2 seasons scored 30 points on the Jets. Oh, man, hey, they the Jets, man. See, Cowboys, man, hey, that's the Jets, man. Anybody can do that, That was the Jets, man. Y'all wouldn't have done that with Aaron Rodgers out there, right? And it's just crazy. We beat the Giants, who a third of the people were saying, the 4-letter, 3-letter network, hey, man, Daniel Jones, man, you get him a good offensive line and some weapons, man. He got a running back, Saquon Barkley. Oh, my goodness. I think Saquon is like 0-6 or 1-6 or something like that versus the Cowboys, by the way. And last I checked, Thomas, he was an all-pro guy on that front five. Evan Neals, he was the first-round draft pick for the Giants. But I guess those don't count, right? Because what happened here, we can take a guy that's undrafted, right, and by the name of Terrence Steele, and he's considered, oh, man, oh, my goodness, he's elite, right? Oh, we can take a man who's like Build-A-Bear over here, who's always stayed hurt, Tyron Smith. Hey, man, he's elite, y'all. Hey, no issues, no worries with him. We can take a guy that some of the people booed and scoffed at when we drafted him, Tyler Smith. Y'all booed that brother, right? Tyler, be honest. So we build and make these offensive linemen become better than what people allege to see, and now all of a sudden we got the best offensive line in the National Football League, just by namesake. Zach Martin is the strongest guy we have, right? That's been a staple piece for this offensive line since 2013, 14, or what have you. 2014, I meant to say. I can't make this stuff up. Granted, we lost to the Cards. It's the end of the world. That's who the Cowboys are. And it took 13 penalties for that to happen. People don't contextualize. People don't context that. You know what I'm saying? God, dog. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the matchups are the matchups. And I think that the 49ers, they do have a great team over there. They do have weapons and beyond. They do have pieces that you can look back on and say, all right, cool, look at this law, look at that. You know, I think that they bring a good things to the table, right? And let me see if I can pull this up. Okay, we're going to have to zoom out of this one. Give me 1 second here, ladies and gentlemen, so y'all all can see that. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Reddit. Yeah. You know y'all can see that. Boom, boom. We gonna fix it up for y'all. Here we go. And all right. Make sure y'all can see the full thing. Cause one time I did the matchup view, and y'all couldn't see anything. Wide receiver. Okay, y'all can see everything. Left tackle. No, you can't see the other wide receivers on the other side. Hold on. Bear with me. Build a plane as we fly, baby. That's what we got to do. Build it as we fly. Ballin'. We fly high. You know it. All right, ballin'. All right, so we got this right here. All right, so you can see that they have Kittles. He's a phenomenal tight end. He brings a lot to the table. We're going to have to be mindful of him. I think that this should be a game that the matchup should be J-Ron Kearse. He does a wonderful job covering Kittles. And these last two visits that we've seen them, I think Kittles didn't really get off. They had to move him inside for an illegal play for him to get down the field, and that didn't work out well for us. Debo killed us in 2021. Last year, it was kind of like in and out. And he didn't do much in that game. Brandon Ayuk, I'll say that he's the secret sauce over here, this Brandon Ayuk. I believe that he is a guy that can stretch the field. He can attack underneath. He got unbelievable vision as it relates to his routes. He can find the soft areas in the zone. He can do the deep overs. He is the weapon right there. He is the flat-out weapon for those boys on the Niners team because he may be short in stature, but, man, he brings physicality to the table. Well, he's 6 foot, so he ain't that short. But he brings a lot of physicality. I think he's more about 5'10", 5'11". They gave him 2 heights, 2 inches there, but that's okay. But he brings a lot of physicality to the table, believe it or not, and he know how to find the soft areas in the zone there. Brock Purdy is a very efficient quarterback. Let me repeat, Brock Purdy is a very efficient quarterback. He by chance, you can't go by, hey, man, Brock Purdy, man, he was Mr. Irrelevant. No. He's going to throw the ball to where it need to be at, and he's not going to try to throw it into triple coverage. He will make scramble plays. He's more elusive than quick, and he got short area quickness, too, as it relates to his feet. Now, not a lot of long speed, but he's more elusive than what we call quick. And he can get outside of the pocket, and he keep his eyes downfield, which is cool. I think that what my guy Kyle Shanahan does, he still do a unique job of putting his underneath routes guys in great positions. And when we say that, you all know in West Coast scheme and system, it's all hybrid because West Coast wasn't originally out of shotgun. But even with that, he have concepts for Christian McCaffrey, who is, I believe, getting MVP votes right now as we speak. He have underneath routes. He have dump off plays. He have a inside stretch run looks or what have you. to alleviate some of the pressures. They do some, we call that counter trades, and these boys can get out there. If you want to look at any weakness upon this team, you can look at this right tackle. He allowed 4 sacks this season. He is a guy that you can pretty much get underneath there, and you can take advantages of the situation with him. I think that the Cowboys should be able to attack that area with him by putting either Parsons over there, D-Law, all of those boys over there, and get things going from there. I know you guys can't see it on your screen over here, but it's blotted out. But he got 7 pressures allowed, 2 hits on the quarterback. So you can get to him, ladies and gentlemen. All right, the other kid that we're looking at is Buford. Look at that. His pass block rate is 14.1, but he's protected because he's in between the center and the tackle. So you can have your weak spot. He's the chink in the armor when they in pass. He's the chink in the armor, ladies and gentlemen. And then when you look at Spence, he only allowed 1 sack, but you can see the pressures that he allowed, over 12. 3 penalties too, by the way. He'll hold you before you get to him, So those are things that you got to consider even from Spencer. And then this dude, I think he allowed only 1 sack, I believe, and he's not that good at pass pro. I think that's going to be the weakness. And lean on. He allowed a lot of pressures, about 7 to 8 pressures and quarterback hits there. So lean on being able, ladies and gentlemen, to attack that right side. Banks and Williams, Trent Williams, those are the gold star guys. This dude right here, Trent Williams, he's a dog, y'all. He's a flat-out dog. He is the anchor of this offensive line. He will get into the face, and if you are weak just a little bit, he will get you. He will get you, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed, he will get you. So when we look at, they do have 21 personnel, and you see Kyle Juszczyk and Christian McCaffrey. Kyle Juszczyk is just him. He's going to be able to block, get into the face of you, and move stuff around. And then when they go into 12 personnel, they do have this kid right here, Charlie, who's pretty good as it relates to intermediate blocking and finding the soft areas in the zone, in the hook sink area. So he's the guy that you have to be mindful of over there. And we're going to go over to the defensive side of the coin. And the defense, this is their base look right here. The guy that they got over here, if you want to attack Lenore, you can do that. Hufanga, you can get him on misdirection plays. He is a down here guy. He's more of a run supporter. Not that great in my opinion in coverage there, but he will, when he's in the flat, he will pick that thing off. He ain't nobody to sneeze at. When you look at his grades or what have you, he will bring that element of surprise too. He got 2 INTs for the season, and he only allowed 4 receptions. That is remarkable. 13 solo tackles, and only 1 missed tackle this season. Last year, he was their leading missed tackler on their team. So you can take it however you want it with Hufanga, but you can control him a little bit with a veteran or a seasonal guy that know how to find a soft area in the zone with tight ends. Hopefully, the Cowboys will figure that out. But the guy that's going to be really giving us fits will be this kid right here, Fred Warner. He is the quarterback of the defense. He is the stabilizer. He calls the plays. He's the green dot guy. And don't pay attention to the stat line for your mind, but just look at it right here. He been missing a little bit. He got 8 missed tackles this season. All right. Here we go. Here's what I got with Fred Warner, though, looking at some of the tape, though. I didn't know he had 8 missed tackles. There's a lot of missed tackles there, Fred. They feast off of this area right here. Fred is the guy that's got very great instincts. When he see the lane and he see the run that's going to be in the backfield, he shoots through all of that. And it's brought to you by these guys right here. The up front guys, Bosa, Armstead, Hargrave, as well as Farrell. Farrell? However you say that man's first name. Shit. You got him right here. Let me see if we can get to it right here. What's the dude's name? Colin. Yeah, Cleland Farrell. Shit. Cleland Farrell is the guy right here that's been pretty much okay this season. But here's what he says right here. This dude right here, Hargraves, he's the guy that's going to take care of some double teams to free up Armstead and to free up Bosa with some twist stunts. Hey, Clee for sure. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I just fumbled that man's name. And Armstead and all of those boys. And Bosa, of course, we all know who Bosa is. Those boys up front. This is the secret sauce for their back end, Gibson, and for their back end, Hufanga. When they have that out of their base formation, and then when they do go nickel, you have Oliver that's inside the slot right there. So, yes, indeed. Cleveland. Damn it. Yes, indeed. Bass, yeah, appreciate you. Fred Warner is our predator. Like the movie, he just hunts all day, sideline to sideline. Yes, indeed, always drip 805. He is the absolute predator. If you can get him going one way, he will miss some tackles, as you see. But trust and believe their coaching staff on how they coach up their particular team, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say this. When they do miss tackles, because that's how they coach them, even with the old defensive coordinator, when they do miss tackle, it's going to be somebody there. When you look at the 49ers tape, there's really not that many solo tackles. There's always one or two guys there. There's two or more there, basically, when you see that, because that's just what it is. They fly, they rally, they chase to the ball. That's why we got to be on point with this matchup, and that's why we got to be on the same page, ladies and gentlemen. If not, it's going to be a long night for us. So be mindful of that. Let's not be weary on how we approach this game, ladies and gentlemen, and let's figure this out. I would say this as well before we dive into these other conversations. Let me see if I give you this stat look right here. I'm going to freeze my face just a little bit. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on for me. I'm going to freeze right here. Boom. Wow. All right. And we're going to pull this up best way possible. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. 251. Boom, 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 boom. L.A. almost knocked them off. Who saw that L.A. game? Let me know in the chat. All right. Boom. Let me go pull this up, blow this up. Okay. So if you look at this, ladies and gentlemen, and I know you can't see the yards allowed or what have you on the edge because we building this as we fly. I appreciate y'all, though. Let me make it a little bit better than that, though. Give me 1 second. All right, so the first column is yards, total yards. They average 407 yards a game, ladies and gentlemen. We average 373. With that being said, when you look at passing yards or what have you, they are right north of us with 254, we 232. Rushing, we right in the same wheelhouse, 141 to their 153. So from an offensive perspective, and I want to be able to bring this up so that you guys can look at it, those numbers are not far apart from each other. So they are granted to be the number 2 offense. And when you look at ours, we're not that far apart. There's no shades of 10 to 20 in different categories. And when you look at yards allowed, far as yards allowed, they allow more yards per game, 301 to our 280. Passing yards allowed, 169 for us and 235. So where we get them at and where they get us at, they allow more passing yards, 235 a game on average. And as far as rushing, we allow that I'm telling you, that Cards game killed our average, 111 to their 66. And the reason why the 49ers, you don't run much on those boys because of the Fred Warner, because of Dre Greenlaw, because of that front, because of the way they get off of their blocks, they shoot upfield. They're not finna play around with two gaps. They shoot upfield. They make the necessary reads, and they are a disciplined football team on the run. Now, where you can get those boys at is in the passing game. We've seen teams able to cook them just a little bit. Right at them. Yeah, yes, indeed. And if you want to take an approach on attacking the Niners, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to, when they go single high, make them pay. Don't be afraid for your tight end to eat in this fashion. You just got to make sure Pollard and whoever else can pick up the blocks when they do blitz. But they don't blitz often, though, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me talk a piece of this Randy Gregory. He was released today. Randy Gregory been a shell of himself since he left Dallas. He only had 3 sacks since he left Dallas. We have a rookie last year that had 4 sacks with only a spoonful of reps. Now, my thing is with Randy Gregory, I heard some people say, hey, Law, he cost us that doggone game against the 49ers the first time. I'm not going to put him in a corner like that. We just didn't prepare ourselves defensively against that team. And one can argue that, hey, our defense, somebody said that we were scared. We were nervous. But that's a whole nother storyline, right? Run, Hunter, run. Yeah, Lukey, you know what I'm saying? Let's go. Law, tell Twin to quit running from me, and I'm trying to get some bet action going. Appreciate you, Action Power. I'll let Twin know. I would definitely let Twin know. Yeah, he been talking a lot of good stuff. He's going back and forth with Twitter gang. So y'all go over to Twitter, man. Get my brother over there going back and forth. So here's my thoughts with Randy Gregory. And is he a guy that we can say, hey, man, bring him in for a cup of coffee? Here's my thoughts with this. Here's what he did this season. He got 1 sack, 3 solo tackles, 4 assists, and pressures. He got 7 pressures, 1 quarterback hit. Right. In last season, he had 2 sacks, 4 assists, 2 forced fumbles. I think the 2 sacks and the 2 forced fumbles, that all happened in one game or something like that. It was a stretch when he had really good stretches right there of games. And he had 20 pressures last season, 6 hits, 12 hurries, and 12 hurries ain't nothing to sneeze at his spot. Those numbers are very pedestrian, you know what I'm saying? And to not sully him, I would say this: a change of scenery didn't work out for him. A change of philosophy from the confines of the coaching staff didn't work for him. But there's an old adage that says you can never have too many pass rushers. Yeah, stay off the weed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can never have too many pass rushers. But we are having a situation whereas we already have Fowler. We already have Armstrong. We are trying to lobby for Sam Williams to get more play. You got D-Law. We even get chances and opportunities to see Golston out there. Who are you willing to cut? Now, I'll bring him in for a cup of coffee. I ain't going to even lie to y'all on that. I'll bring him in and at least test him out, work him out, run some heels and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'll bring him in for a cup of coffee. I'm not going to turn down everything, bring the prodigal son back. You just never know. Or you can play keep away. There's some people within this division that say, hey, they'll bring him in, right? Eric says, how do you think Jerry going to bring back Randy? And here's another thing, young people, always be sure to keep your bridges there, especially for a team like the Joneses, right? Always keep your bridges, man, with the Jones family. Never burn those bridges, because when you burn those bridges, all Jerry have to do is he can pick up the phone call to get you gone. And you will never see NFL Day again. And then they would give you some merciness and say, yeah, we'll bring you on our practice squad, but you really, really would never get a chance. He burnt them action. Yeah, he did he smoke them bridges action? Hey, Renee.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Oh, man, he burnt them bridges like a Philly blunt, huh? You know what I'm saying? Dallas blunt, you know what I'm saying? Practice swat, why not? Swat up, you know. He got some practice swat availabilities, right? But Randy got good people, though. His father is a really good guy, cool guy. His mom, I don't know if she watches the show anymore, but they real cool people. If you ever meet them and they think the world of him. My thing is the NFL took all of that time to suspend our players over a little plant, you know what I'm saying? And then for ultimately when they on the tail end, oh, we're going to make it legal now, you know what I'm saying? The whole thing with David Irvin is like, come on, man. We needed David Irvin, man, the following years. Man, can you close your eyes and imagine, you know? David Irvin now, should he just be right now seasoned guy, right? How old is David Irvin, by the way? Because David Irvin now under this administration, woo. But that's a whole other story, right? You know, we good over here. Law this from my guy O.S. Tyler. Yeah, I would say this: we are. But there's an old thing is with this too. The Niners might bring him in for a cup of coffee. This from Robert Blackwell. Yeah. Old folks, write this down, y'all. Write this down. Kids, cover your ears just a little bit if you think this is a cuss word. I'd rather have them inside the tent pissing out versus outside the tent pissing in. And sometimes you got to make that adjustments, right? You got to figure things out there's an old adage, you know what I'm saying, with that. So you got to figure out ways to make sure that you secure your base. That's just what it is sometimes. And you sometimes got to make that sacrifice, you know. And
sacrifice.
Yes, indeed. Dave Irv choose weed over millions of dollars, man. Hey, I'm not finna get into the conspiracy side of it, but that Toradol and all of those pain meds, that did mess up with a lot of people's psyche in the National Football League, allegedly. You know, I've talked to some players that played in the National Football League that thought about, you know, jumping off of a bridge, you know what I'm saying? Or because of the meds, because of the things that the, you know, not going to say too much, man, side effects. Hey, you know what I'm saying? But at least with the plant, you ain't going to be motivated to get up some days, you know what I'm saying? You ain't going to be motivated to fight, you know, but it is what it is. It is, they got all type of research, man, that now that doctors are taking some of the psychedelics approach. And there's a thing that you can even do float therapy, just all natural, you know what I'm saying, way to heal the mind and the body with plants. You get a little a shot of a pill, whether it's liquid or whether it's kind you smoke or you digest, and you get into like, I think it's like, who did float therapy? You know what I'm saying? In the chat, you lay in about 2 to 3 inches of water, right? And they close you off in this room, and then you start having an out-of-body experience. You know what I'm saying? Shrooms, you know, helps mental illness. Yeah. So there. FBI, open up! Hey, wait a minute. You know. Yes, indeed. Who phone went off about 30 minutes ago? Who phone went off with that emergency beeping noise? You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. And who still, if you still feeling tingly, I'm telling people, man, let me go, look, ooh-wee. Y'all, boy, I'm telling y'all. Who's feeling a little tingly right now after that emergency alarm went off? Who's feeling like the frequency is getting to you right now? See, we are in a frequency. We are vibrational people, you know, believe it or not. My voice got a unique vibration. But now, due to artificial intelligence, I'm quite sure that there's multiple copies of me out there in the ether. Boy, look, Iceberg Q, he know what it is. When you hear that safe room talk, boy, at 120 Central, boy, it went off. I hope y'all didn't have y'all devices on. Oops. Yes, indeed, man. So, hey, all I'm saying is, y'all just be careful with
all I ask.
with the frequency. You know what I'm saying? And I already know YouTube gonna be up on Facebook. They're gonna say, hey, we're gonna have to take you down for a couple of days, put you in Facebook jail for misinformation on vitamin water, on coconut juice. You know, you got to put allegedly. You know, shout out to artificial intelligence, the AIs out there. Just know AI is starting to have a conscience. Whoo, boy, when life start and when do life end, ladies and gentlemen? Woo. When your heart start beating, are you still alive? Huh? Boy, but y'all better watch out. They already got Jerry Jones artificialized over here. I told you he gonna outlive us all. All right, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man. Human cannot create consciousness. Yeah. You know, that's a double meaning there, Gregory. He said humans. What about the angels? You know what I'm saying? All right, that's enough of me talking, man. Execute order. Woo! Oh my goodness, man. What about the other side? What about the other side of the ice wall? Let me leave y'all alone, man. Cowboy Nation, I appreciate y'all. This was a very short show. We'll be live a little later on with my girl Ashley, and we're gonna talk more and more Cowboys, and we're gonna get things going from there. You know what I'm saying? What about the others? You know, I don't want to be out there with the others. That's what Adam and Eve told them, huh? You know, who are the others? Oh man, I went to the deep end, to the abyss. But y'all already know that there are a lot of things that we fight that we can't see. There are a lot of things that we see that we don't understand. And, you know, frequency is one thing. There's a beam of light, a beam of information that when I call you from my phone to your phone, there's information traveling at light speed or even faster, right? And that's just how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate the super chat. We talk low vibrational stuff over here because this is a place to relax. This is a place that I don't want to go into the deeper meanings of things, right? The real meaning of a 666, the real meaning of the third eye being open, the real meaning that you can manifest things and it happened just like that. Some of us are already there, right? Some of us already see the different levels of dimensions, right? But some people are just stuck in this realm of thinking. But I come here to tell y'all right now, the Dallas Cowboys versus the 49ers. They talk about a gold rush, 19 and 19 and 1. What does the number 19 and 19 really mean? And who should be the one? It's tied straight across. The Cowboys' all-time record, the 49ers' all-time record versus each other. Everything is energy, right? David Lee said it correctly. Energy is power. Power of the mind, soul, and sinew. and it cannot be created nor destroyed. So when they say knowledge is power, it means that it's already been here. Nothing new is under the sun. It can only be transferred. So the information that I have and the knowledge that I have already been here. Woo! Some people ain't gonna hit them to 20 years from now. That we already lived this life, we just relive it, right? That's why people can see down the road. That's why people can manifest things. All they are doing is really just revealing over and over again. So that's why the rudiments and the information that we give out here is all about, hey, where are you at mentally? How can your mindset move you and shift you from sleeping out of your car to being in this seat today, right? How can the doors open up when you shake someone's hand and you look down, there's a blessing for you. Because we continue to go forth and bring forth the great things to this world. I want y'all to write this down, and I say this all the time. You think Tank Law? Shout out to you, James. Appreciate you. Yes, he really mad. Eric says another beat down is coming. Let's go. Open up your consciousness, ladies and gentlemen. We bringing it. And if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep. If all of your desires of it makes you quite mad that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it and fret for it and plan and lose all terror of your mind. If you will simply, Cowboy Nation, go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and scarcity, with faith, hope, and confidence and stern pertinacity. If neither cold or poverty or famish or fame or the sickness of your body or brain can turn you away, like David Lee is saying, tapping into the frequency where they already exist. You can open up portals with your mind. You know, even in the movies, they take in the things that's real of this world and they put it in the movies because the galaxy, the universe, the multiverse, the people and the things that's all together, the creator, they already know that it exists. That's why they got to put it out there. It's a galactic code of things. And there's codes to every reason. There's a code to every meaning. There's a goodness and grace and a mercy to every meaning. And these are the things. That's why when you give, you get multiple things back in return. That's why when you believe in something, you have to also understand it before you start asking for it, right? Woo, boy, I'm getting too deep with it, baby. Somebody gonna hit them 3 years from now and they're gonna go back and watch this. Yes, indeed. Jones says, High Law Nation, if I totally hate the quarterback and the head coach, then how can we be DC for life? Impossible, right? You know, boy, look. I was on my way out, but man, Jones, rewind the music just a little bit for me. There we go. You see, there's a reason why. There's a reason why when you force something, I want you to be all hot for me. And if you're against it, I want you to be all cold for me. I don't want the lukewarm. I don't want one toe in and all of the 9 toes are just sitting there like, nah, no. I want you to be all in for this. I want you to be really into the mindset of this. Shout out to you, Gracia. When we say DC for life, right? It's not for short. It's not for a short time. It's not only if we win. It's not only so that you can climb to the top to sit there and say, hey, I told you so. It's all in. The greatness of it is that even when we are down with the Chain Galeys and we were down on the Dave Campos, we never shaded out. We never folded up like a wallet or a lawn chair. We were still here, even when it was down and out. With Jason Garrett, you didn't see me leave. We were still talking the same talk. But there are a few that hear the loser and they turn their back on us. There's a few that might have lost their job and they quit. There's a few that may not got the opportunity and they quit. There's a few people that got the rejection from the job that they really wanted and they quit. Believe it. There's a few that lost their mom and they quit. They lost their father and they quit. They lost their brother and their sister and they quit. They gave up. They said, I no longer believe, because they wasn't for life. And the people that's rocking with us and rolling with us, the people that's sitting there saying, come hell or high water, we still gonna be here, are the real ones. Ain't that right? Because man, how great it will be when it's time for us to lift up that Lombardi. Oh, rewind it one more time. Y'all ain't ready to go yet. Y'all ain't ready to go yet. Come on, rewind it one more time. When it lift up that Lombardi trophy, I didn't shed a eye. I didn't blink it out. I didn't turn my back on this team. I'm the one. I'm the real one, baby. You know, that's what my girl Gina can say. That's what my guy Cliff can say. That's what my guy JB, the Cowboy fan, can say, right? That's what Kendrick Johnson can say. That's what NC Cowboy 84 can say. But there's a few that get mad at the team and turn their back on this team. There's a few that will go run and tell the enemies, the Niner gang, you know what I'm saying, how horrible we are. There's a few that took off the Cowboys apparel and now rocking Eagle stuff, Washington stuff. Oh my goodness, this rocking Giant stuff. But we are the real ones, the people that's sitting here saying, hey, it doesn't matter. We a nation, baby. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to grind. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours.
All I ask
is for y'all to hit that like and share this content. Let's go, baby.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
Let's go, baby. Yes, indeed.
Damn. Damn.
Let's go, baby. Whoa, baby! Come on, baby.
Give me my theme music. Yeah! Here we go! Here we go!
Let's go.
Yeah! Here we go!
Yeah, baby.
Here we go!
Run it up, baby. That's all I want to do. Shout out to y'all, man.
Here we go! Here we go!
Glory.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah.
Here we go!
Kinda check this out. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Lately, I just wanna.
Shout out to you, Sadiq. One love to you, Randy and Jones. Let's go. Hey.
Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still saving, roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Rabbit now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides, I'm for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit.
Are you embarrassed as an
I've been
organization about how
really
the
in
team
the
is
field,
playing?
love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Let me
Don't need
crack
no
your
deals, I
claim.
make the deal. I have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Hey.
Yeah.
Come on.
Kinda check a song.
Try to check something.
I just wanna run it up.
Salute to Prize Picks too, by the way. Let's go. Lately, I just wanna. Hey.
I just be off the dome.
Come on.
I never own no chrome.
Hey.
Too many foes and clothes. Yeah.
Let me see some fire emojis in the chat if you all hot for the Cowboys. Come on.
trying to check a song. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Twins. They twins.
Count that too. Count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
You ain't lying.
I told y'all. That doggone Dak got that Thanos head. Pause.
Lately, I just wanna run it.
Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get on up out of here. Slow it down just a little bit. Yeah.
Say what's wrong or right. No. It's not hard to fool me. No. Come on. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. No. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow. Tell you good night, 'cause I'm fine no matter what, yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell you good night, 'cause I'm fine no matter what. Ooh, susceptible.
It's an evil world we live in.
It's not a problem, no. 'Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. And nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you